Welcome back to that side of TikTok where you've seen the mess. Now get the story. And today, oh, honey, Adrielle Sigler has opened her mouth again. And you know, when she starts talking science, it's about to go off the rails. Let's break this shit down.
I think that some people's like instinct, like it's a psychological fact that when we meet people, our first impression of them lasts like less than 30 seconds. You the first 3 seconds are what matter most, honestly. But within those first 30 seconds, the first 3 seconds, they have a gut reaction to you, how you present yourself physically and carry yourself. And then within the first 30 seconds, the first impression includes subconscious connections to other people you've met in your life. So if I had an evil redheaded teacher in high school who whipped the bad boy with a paddle and scared me, and 5 years later I go to a library and there's a librarian at the front desk, if she looks similar to the evil redheaded teacher, has the same blue eyes, freckles, red hair, face shape, I'm going to draw subconscious connections and have a bad first impression on that person, just the way they carry themselves and make them look, and because of things tied to my past. And nonetheless, I don't like that when people make connections based on how someone looks, talks, stuff like that, because again, all people are different. They all have their own story. They all have their own personality. They all have their own set of beliefs. For example, I'm vegan.
So Adrielle decides she's suddenly a psychologist, right? She sits there, serious face on, telling the world, it's a psychological fact that first impressions last less than 30 seconds. Girl, the only psychological fact here's that you should not be diagnosing anything, not even yourself. Then she goes on, the first 3 seconds matter the most. Babe, the first 3 seconds of your videos are already too much. That's why people scroll. Then suddenly she's talking about gut reactions, subconscious connections, how you carry yourself, and I'm just here thinking, Adrielle, you can't even carry a conversation, let alone a psychological theory. But then, oh Lord, she jumps into that random story. If I had an evil redheaded teacher in high school who whipped the bad boy with a paddle, stop, pause, rewind. A paddle? A bad boy? An evil ginger teacher? Where does she even find these? Plots? Wattpad? And she carries on like she's narrating a thriller. And then 5 years later, I go to the library. Babe, you at a library? Be serious. She says she'd see a librarian who looks like this imaginary ginger teacher and instantly have a bad first impression because of subconscious connections. No, Adrielle, that's not psychology. That's you projecting because you love creating enemies in your imagination. Then she goes, I don't like when people make connections based on how someone looks. Excuse me? Coming from the same woman who judges everyone who breathes near her, the same woman who thinks she can see someone's soul, intention through their eyebrows, and then the kicker. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own beliefs. I, for example, am vegan. Babe, you could have gone the whole video without telling us that. Haven't you said you're vegan like 286 times this month? Is it on your passport? This whole thing is just Adrielle, rambling like she's teaching a TED Talk in a universe where facts don't exist. Do you think Adrielle actually believes half the stuff she says? Why is every story she tells more random than the last? Should Adrielle be banned from using the word psychological? What do you think her real first impression energy is? Do you think she practiced this speech in the mirror first? And that's today's episode of Adrielle versus Reality. If you enjoyed this deep dive into her latest psychology masterclass, make sure you like, comment, and follow, because on that side of TikTok, we don't just watch the chaos, we break it all the way down. See you in the next one, babes. So, what do you guys think about this? Comment below and let's chat.